Hi guys, I'm Silver, and as promised I was going to do a comparison video of the Littlest Pet Shop and Littlest Pet Zoo from the 90s. So here I have both these carry cases, and I will now do a comparison of just the cases, not the pets or anything inside, just to show everyone the differences and everything else. So we've got the pet shop, which was my one from when I was a kid, and next to it the zoo. As you can see, the fronts are quite detailed. You've got a window in the pet shop which shows you inside. I actually really like the pet shop one because it was very sort of simple design, but it looks like a little pet shop that you might find perhaps between two other buildings or something like that. And there's a cat in the window there looking out. And the pets all fitted in very well to it. Here's the zoo. It's got these opening doors on the front here, so you can actually open it up and there's the animals inside. The zoo is nicely detailed. I do like that about it. It's got all this sort of fancy moulding on the front here showing various zoo animals doing various things. I think I said in the previous video it would have been nice if it had actually been coloured and painted, but that would have taken them longer. Making a simple mould obviously is much quicker and cheaper, which is why they did it that way. So turning them around, the pet shop, the back of the pet shop's very plain actually. The only thing that kind of makes it a little bit sort of more fancy is this, but that's a piece of cardboard that was cut out of the original packaging, which they suggested you cut out and put on the back. And it also has these stickers, and I believe, I could be wrong, but I think you had to stick them on yourself. I know there was definitely some stickers you had to stick on yourself. I think it was possibly them. As for the zoo, I don't know. I bought it off Etsy a couple of months ago. So these little back doors here also open, which again is pretty neat. So the back of the zoo is much more fancy than the back of the pet shop, which kind of makes sense because the zoo is a kind of an all-round thing. It's not like a building between two other buildings. So it makes sense that it would be fancier. It's also longer than the pet shop. The pet shop's a little bit taller. But probably inside, I think the zoo may have slightly more capacity inside, if you want to get technical with it. So we move them to the side here, and we have the same sort of fastenings on the side. You just push them up to unclasp them, sort of thing. Now, to open them both up, they might take up a lot of room. They also both have carry handles as well. You can see this one better, which actually do go down too. They only go down the one way. They don't go down. They don't go either way. They just sort of push backwards to fold away. So opening up the pet shop, this is going to be quite difficult to get them both on the screen at the same time. Can't even get the zoo open. There we go. It's got this clip in the middle of it. Right, so that one's open now. So we'll open the pet shop up first. The pet shop has got all these little shelves inside. I'll move the zoo to one side a minute. And there are all the pets on the shelves. Now, it's my understanding the pet shop was supposed to accommodate the first generation of pets, which is why there is precise room for all of these. Now, I don't just have the first generation of pets. I've got the peregrine falcon in there, and he wasn't from the first generation, neither was the parrot. And neither were these fancy little hamsters here. We've got the original first generation, and they re-released the first generation in different colours. So, yeah, I do have other things in there. But it did comfortably accommodate the first generation. Also, the pet shop, when you got it, it came with these. I'll take the cage off so you can see they're actually lovebirds, and they kiss each other. So the pet shop did come with those. Incidentally, if anyone's interested, my very first Littlest Pet Shop pet was this toucan. Can't see her very well in her cage, but yeah, she was my first one. This little chap, he's quite neat. He didn't come with the pet shop or anything at all, but he's actually he's on this sort of ring, so you can take the ring off and have him perch on your finger, and if you press down on his tail, his crest comes up like that. And I do like how they were designed. I mean, it's quite a neat, nice little design. And it's quite compact. Whoever the design team were certainly did very, very well with these. So that's the pet shop. So moving on, I'm going to have to close that one back up because the zoo is quite big. Typical. It's got caught on the cloth below it. There we go. So opening the zoo up, you see that everything is falling out. The zoo is it's in two separate pieces, so you can actually unhook this one. The first piece, this is the back piece. There isn't really very much storage space in this, and I gather it's probably because this is it's not as wide as the other one. Instead of doing both equal wideness, which I think would have been a better idea, they made the back part shallower, which means that you couldn't really store much in there, maybe just a few accessories. I've got this dog in here. She's nothing to do with the zoo collection anyway, but yeah, you could only really store a few small things, perhaps individual animals and their food bowls, on this side. So the storage isn't quite as good there. The other side is much better. Just put this one on the floor. Because it's much deeper. You can store the animals as well as their little environments on this side of it. Again, none of these are particularly zoo animals except the bobcat and the leopard or tiger. But yeah, you can store a few more things in that side. In my personal opinion, I feel the zoo was in some ways quite a rushed design, because they didn't whereas the other one's all sectioned up for the different animals from the series, they could have done a similar thing with the zoo and they just didn't. I'm not really sure why. The zoo came out I think a year after the pet shop, so it wasn't that much later. So yeah, it's not really as well organised inside it, and of course both the sides come off. I guess you could just play with this side of the zoo. It's also got these, which I've only shown in one video, and they just sort of go on this here to make it look kind of more there you go, you can see the other one, to make it look more sort of jungly. But as far as the details and design is concerned, I don't feel the zoo is quite as well done as the pet shop, even though the outside of it looks lovely, and I really do like the fact it's got doors on the front and the back, so you can access it from anywhere. You know, the animals can go in through the back door if they wish while the thing's closed. I love that. But the only design flaws I feel it has are the fact that the front and the back come apart, which means some kids could probably lose one part of it. I understand obviously that it won't close with these attached, so there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that they could have made the other side of it perhaps a bit wider, or maybe this side a little bit narrower. But if you make this side more narrow, maybe if they'd had the shelf come out further, so then they could have made the whole thing a bit more narrow and done it more like the pet shop. That's the base for the bobcat. His cave goes there. I always kept all these cardboard bits. You can see the back of one of the packages there. Because I was just an arty kid, so I just cared for my things and kept all of the bits and pieces that came with it. It wasn't very often I lost anything that came with any of my little play sets or anything. So all in all, I think the pet shop has the better design, but the zoo has potential, and I do like the shape of the zoo, and like I said, the sculpting on the front of the zoo, the opening doors, that's all really, really good. It's just, it doesn't really hold very much for what it is, which is kind of sad, really. I think that the outside's great. They could have redesigned the inside to make it accommodate more animals. You know, I mean, I suppose in a way the pet shop was designed as like a collection case to hold what you had collected so far. It came out with the first gen of pets, so it was a place to put them all, whereas the zoo, there was a lot more pets came out when that one was released, and I guess people would probably just put their spare pets in it or something. I don't know. But that's my review. Both play sets are very good. I think they've both got really good designs. It's always nice and refreshing when something is designed well. Being an artist myself, you know, it makes me think of the design teams and what might have been in their mind when they were making these. And I do like this sort of cardboard picture here with the plastic frame and all the animals and the thing. You know, that's really nice as well. Like I said, the only flaw it really has is that it doesn't hold many animals. So both of them, I like them both. They're both really good play sets in their own way. So I hope you've enjoyed this 10-minute long review of these, but it's something I feel enthusiastic about, so someone might find it useful in the future, because they don't make these anymore and they're very hard to get hold of. So if you want to see more videos of, I think I put these under, I've got a new playlist called Rare Finds, and I think I put them under Rare Finds because it is hard to find them either complete or even the zoo one at the moment. Or it was when I bought it. This was the only one you could find on the internet, so, because someone else came to me and said, where did you buy that from? I can't find them. I said, that's literally the only place. One person on Etsy was selling one. But a few come up on eBay every so often. So yeah, I might put these on the Rare Finds playlist. Anyway, you'll see some related videos coming up below. As always, check out my Etsy and New Monday if you want to see my plushies or custom plushies, or purchase a plushie, or you can buy me a coffee on Ko-fi. It all helps. The links are in the description. And that's all for this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silverwolf signing off.